of the NFL is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll have Cam Newton calling the shots, the big man under center at 6'5", nearly 250 pounds.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. And here now the offense for Carolina.
And what a workhorse is Christian McCaffrey, the running back for the Carolina Panthers, who led his team in rushing and receiving yardage in 2018 and was also the team's leading scorer. How about this? Set an NFL record for catches for a running back with 107. So for an encore, he just wants to get his team back to the playoffs in 2019.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And since this is such a good unit at covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now a pass hauled in downfield, and he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Give him 32 on the play. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 33 yards that time. Well, how about the passing numbers so far on this first drive?
Oh, no doubt about it. They're flinging it around pretty successfully. And look at the start. The confidence level that we see in him rising because he's hit a few early. And how about the last one? The big shot right there.
And that'll be caught. Touchdown Panthers. Olsen. Greg Olsen. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers take it right down and score on the opening drive. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30.
Check. Hey, 59, ready.
A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And here are the Falcon offensive starters.
It's easy to list the top receivers in the league, but one of the best complementary receivers is Mohamed Sanu. Gives you great production both outside and inside. Last year recorded the most receiving yards in his career with over 800 and can take snaps as a Wildcat quarterback. In fact, in his career, 7 of 8 passing, 4 touchdowns, and a perfect quarterback rating of 158.3.
A couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Wow. Receiver complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 15 yards last play and 15 yards here this go-around. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down.
Check 50-21.
They'll run here with Freeman. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Defensively, here are the starters for Carolina. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Numbers don't tell you everything, but they do paint a pretty good picture. We're talking about 2 top 5 units going at each other. One in running the ball, one in stopping the run. I think this is going to be a whole lot of fun myself.
They'll look to run with Freeman. And Freeman lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground.
The ball comes out, and the Falcons grab it. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go. Pick it up, D. Watch the twist.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Can we get some forensics done here? Because I need to figure out...
What, on that ball?
Yeah, on the ball, on the guys carrying the ball, what's going on? Back-to-back drives, back-to-back fumbles. That just doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you're coming out to play in the NFL.
I don't think the coaching staff thinks it makes a whole lot of sense either.
No, maybe there'll be changes, but if nothing else, there will be a few stern talking tos, that's for sure.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Gun.
Throwing again. Newton. And Olsen over the middle. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Yeah, Greg Olsen's back for his 13th NFL season. The last 9 have been in a Panthers uniform. Only 9 games for him a year ago, 7 the season before due to injuries. But when healthy, 1,000-yard receiver in 2014, 15, and 16.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Tack McKinley, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
On for the extra point, Giorgio Tavecchio. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Carolina getting set to take the field. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Coming off the pick six, it's Newton. And it's caught on the right side, it's Smith. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it, and the Falcons grab it.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive.
Space. You got to get moving, man. Man moving. You got to get that.
Freeman again, a 1st down carry. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there, and it's 3rd down.
We talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost, and now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
They'll run for it. It's Freeman. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons have taken the lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that makes the score 14-7. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends in a touchdown run from Devontae Freeman. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Getting set to go again here. Cam Newton marches back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And the tight end Olsen, right side. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now it's Newton. Got his target, Samuel. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play there for Carolina. And even 40 yards. But one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
Check it in. Ready. Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Target.
On second and 11 now. Newton. Escaping the plant. And a big loss here as he's taken down. In for the sack, Deion Jones.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Third and long, it's Newton. And he's going to go down again. Tack McKinley, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. We remind you that coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football. Seems like we've seen the Seahawks quite a bit in prime time the last few weeks, and we get them again tonight as they head down to L.A. to take on the Rams. And then tomorrow night for Monday Night Football, it's Giants-Eagles from chilly Philadelphia. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone, sometimes you're throwing it between the zones, sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Only a yard on the completion. It's second and goal.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Newton. Forced out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Deion Jones able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. On the ground, McCaffrey, and able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. To the right side and complete to Thomas. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
Ian Thomas got pressed into action early his rookie season as all-pro tight end Greg Olsen went down with an injury. Ended up with 36 catches, and they definitely see him as the future once Olsen decides to hang it up and maybe become a broadcaster.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again, Mohamed Sanu is marching back onto the field now. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And they finally put an end to this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Smith. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On first down, Newton. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Newton. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. Now a timeout coming here defensively, as on 4th down, may as well make them punt it. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
39.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Hey, Tuesday.
On second down, Freeman. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. It was Eric Reed in on the stop.
Well, that's one stuff. We'll see if this defense has another in their back pocket.
I just wonder on the other side of the ball, do you just challenge the big guys up front? This is a short yardage situation. We ought to be able to pick this up. Or do you say to yourself, they are awfully tough. I've got to throw it on this down. From this vantage point, they've got the lead here. So for me, that'd be enough to go ahead and punt the football and let my defense defend the long field.
If you go for it, you don't get it, then you really put your defense in a tight spot.
Yeah, but we never know what people ultimately will decide to do here on 4th and inches.
Here we go on 4th down. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Ryan. Getting it out left side to Sanu. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. To throw is Ryan. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
12 yards there and a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing. And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
That time a 9-play drive, and the Falcons score to cap it off. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half.
And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now as you
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks him, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turning over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing. But I guarantee you, it's not very good. When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain? In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught.
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. The 30, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Panthers.
What you just saw there? First-round talent, second year, even more success. A pick-6 for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season is big for them.
They really start to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year 1. By year 2, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick-6. Obviously costly.
But they can't.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Brian Burns leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers, too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And an alley to run. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That's certainly. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. K1 Short, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Ryan, Sanu with a grab over the middle. And, he coughed it up. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
For that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. That reception, it brings him up to the 700 plateau. He's at 700 career NFL catches now.
And that club in baseball, a rather exclusive club, and one we talk about all the time. In football, puts you in the top 50 all-time range. Not so bad either.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession. Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
It'll be a gain of 17, but even with that, they'll be well short here for 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And Gano's kick is right through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone.
And it's a fumble. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
And that will be caught by Moore. He's got a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers take advantage of the turnover to put up 6. A sensational one-handed grab in the end zone for the score. Looked like you at the Davis Turkey Bowl every year in the backyard in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, you're so kind. That's definitely in my mind. But how about this? They always tell guys going after the ball, the receivers especially, you got to have a single-minded obsession to go get it. How about going up with a single hand and making that happen? I don't know if it gets much better than what we just saw there.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Matt Ryan trying to lead the Falcons from behind. Last year in 16 starts, just one fourth-quarter comeback for the QB. On the carry, it's Olsen. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, well, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long.
The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Shaq Thompson making his presence felt on the sack. The Falcons will go for it. It's Ryan.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. On first down, Ryan. Caught by Sanu. And he's got this down to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Partner, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Shaq Thompson in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. He'll look to throw. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors they have to look at to try and help out. But you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. That's Luke Kuechly with a sack. So the magic runs out, so to speak. They were 3 for 3 on 4th down conversions, now 3 for 4.
So the defense finally gets to exhale.
Yeah.
Because they were wondering, 3 for 3 getting converted on 4th down. That percentage is way high. They hadn't stopped them at all. Finally, they get a stop. They can get to the sidelines now and rest a little bit.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. He was trying to go back to Moore there, and it's 3rd and short.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. As the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. 2 running plays go backwards. So what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? And they take a knee.
Partner, they took a knee to finish this one off. To me, that's the only thing they lost in the fourth quarter. How about that comeback?
Yeah, trailed coming into the last frame. Got it done, taking the knee. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Oh, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for Carolina, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, it's a loss that could have implications on the playoff race as they fall to 9-4. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.